Kog'Maw is left alone just for a little bit, Kog'Maw can get ripped to shred. However, we do have Orianna. If they want to engage on Kog'Maw, uh, you know, Udyr can just rush in, just bear stance whoever, and just keep him off. And or Kennen can just lightning rush in, pop his ultimate with the ball from Orianna, and they can just chain a perfect combo too. So one thing to look out for is the Orianna Kennen combo. You're gonna see Orianna drop her ball onto Kennen. Kennen's gonna lightning rush flash, and they're gonna just try and simultaneously get the ult off from Orianna and get the storm off from Kennen, and that's just gonna be massive, massive amount of damage. If you just think of it in terms of damage, Froggen's gonna be able to just chunk everybody for about 800 to 1,000 damage, and Kennen's Storm is going to be able to do about 600 to 800 damage as well. And if he hits the Lightning Rush on everybody, which is very possible because the ball, the ultimate from Orianna is going to pull everybody on top of Kennen. So it's just very, very free Lightning procs from Lightning Rush onto Na'Vi if they can pull off a really, really good combo.
Like we said it yesterday, Citizen win Ziggs versus Orianna, which was a matchup you dubbed Orianna favored, and it makes sense. Everyone expected to be Orianna favored, but Citizen Wayne played phenomenally, kept up, and in some cases was even ahead of Froggen in that lane. We have to see whether it plays out again, or more importantly, quite as you say, this Orianna Kennen combo. If they can use that perfectly, we saw some massive, massive ultimates come out of Froggen yesterday. Now, if he can land a couple more of those on the ramps in these tight choke points on 4 or 5 members of Na'Vi, he was ripping these guys apart with like 3 or 400 CS by the end of these games. So he's certainly a trouble point. And it's good to see Orianna coming back. I'm glad it's here. So when this finishes loading in, and it does look like I've got it in the right place, no dropping down into corners or anything. We will find out exactly how it goes. When we're looking at this, level 1, we've got obviously an Alistar for Na'Vi. If you face check into an Alistar with that pulverize, you're going to die. There's no two ways about that. But other than that, no one really screams like an invade comp here to me. I mean, Na'Vi, yes, as I say, you need to face check into Alistar for it to get useful. He's not like a range stun like a Taric or a snare like Morgana or a Nivea. But I suspect CLG are going to play it defensive. They like to play defensive. They'd rather just sit there and defend their jungle entrances. But that's not to say they're not going to invade. They might use that as a mind game. If people are expecting them to sit there defensive and then find 5 members of the team in their face, which actually, to start with, it looks like where they're going to go. We've got 4 members of CLG approaching the top half of the map, walking towards that tri-bush for Na'Vi, and Creepo taking a slightly different route. At first I thought he was going to drop a ward at Wraiths. That's not the case.
So right now, CLG.eu is grouped up on Navi's side. Navi actually just saw Kennen at the tri-brush, so they are curious and aware that they're there. So if Navi is able to group up in time, just find somebody out, they're going to be able to just splash bulb and just do a lot of damage. Depending on what Ziggs got at level 1, he actually got short fuse, so... Oh, actually no. He hasn't even leveled up. Short fuse is the passive. So he's actually deciding, do I get the Hexplosive minefield, or do I get the bouncing bomb? If a fight does break out, you want the minefield because it just does so much more damage, and it's an AoE slow. So
apparently you've got your music overlay on in front of half the spectator UI. Chat seems to be yelling it. You've got your music overlay up, and it's covering the items apparently.
Oh, gotcha.
So, now we're going to sit back. We've got obviously Cosmix in the jungle, not Alistar. Not one of the... I don't know. I don't want to class it as fast jungler. But he's got good airway, he's got good damage, especially now that his passive has been changed and he can clear the creeps nicely. But his ganks are his strength. You get an Alistar into a lane, I mean, he's notoriously put down as a solo Q stomper because that headbutt pulverize combo, maybe even a flash pulverize, if you need it, can dominate some lanes, and we'll have to see whether he can use it well up against Orianna, because that's going to be, as we mentioned before, the trouble point for Na'Vi. So, how should CLG be acting towards this? Because obviously, Alistar, let's see, 40 armor at this level. Some Alistars I've seen run like a flat 25 armor page on their runes and can tower dive at like level 2. So, what in CLG's position, what would you be doing to protect against these early Alistar ganks?
Basically, alley gank on mid isn't as strong because, like I was talking about last time, Zig is a very, very good champion in terms of poking and farming. You can't really stop him from farming because he has a bouncing bomb that can farm from really, really far off. And so, in terms of ganking, he doesn't really have a lot of CC. You have to land some really hard skill shots to actually knock somebody into a wall or knock them up before you can follow up with a minefield. So if Alistar is in a gank, he's going to be mostly on top like he is right now. I don't see him ganking mid at all.
Okay, well, let's see, they are going to chase onto Wicked. The Ignite goes down from Nezulus, grabs the first blood. He will go out the backside and run straight into Frogger. It needs to come leap over the wall from Cottonex, and just like we saw yesterday. I think they may have practiced that a couple of times, because that was near identical to when Cottonex was playing Shen in one of the earlier matches. But first blood is first blood. Wicked is on the back foot, and again, as you mentioned earlier, the longer this game goes on, the stronger Jax is going to get, and to get strong he needs money, and first blood is the best form of income at this point in the game.
Yeah, definitely that first blood is going to help him and catapult him to where he needs to be a lot faster. So right now, just because the kill went to Jax, a champion that needs that kill the most, Na'Vi is in a very, very good position.
How they said him. Froggen's a little bit wary of ganks. He's leaving his ball in the bush. He's expecting someone to poke their head out and cause him some pain. We do have low health when he's ticking down. Actually on Creepo while they try and kill the golems. What? Creepo died to the big double golem. We're trying to help Yellow Pete do the CS. And Pete in fact leaving one of them up. So he's slightly counter-jungling Frogger. I'm sure we'll go back and clear it out in a bit. Okay, dying to the golem, it's embarrassing, it's some XP you've lost out on, some, well not CS as a support, but it's XP you're down on. It does give Pete a little bit of boost now that he's soloing the lane, but it's gotta get you wondering, what's going on with Creepo? Why did he not move?
You know, if you think about it, his death timer is about 10 seconds. The blue pill back to base is 8 seconds anyways, he didn't lose too much. It's just a really, really quick recall, I guess. You know, you're back in base, you can start buying right away, but you know, to die at level 2 to neutral creep is not as bad as it looks. You know, you hear the, oh, you have been executed, and it's like, lol, that's very embarrassing, but you think about it in the bigger picture, it's about 2 or 3 seconds that you missed out on.
Maybe it was intentional then. That's a very valid point. And we do see the headbutt Pulverize coming out into mid lane again. Froggen headbutted in. Pulverize down, walks across the minefield, pops his move speed boost after the slow, but the Ignite's ticking. And one more auto attack from Sidon Wayne's going to be enough. And Frogger actually needs to be really careful. Codnex has got their red buff up, can't take the tower anymore. That is just enough. Citizen is on the prowl with these balancing bombs. Frogger is really, really low. He's sitting as far back away from this tower as he can. He should be safe.
That was a really, really good gank on Orianna mid. I almost was certain that Citizen Wayne was going to be able to pick up Udyr as well. Had he just stepped forward when he auto-attacked and then stepped forward again, he would have been in range to get another hit off on Udyr when he was running back behind tower and when Alistar is taking tower for him. It's just one of those mechanics that you do as an AD, and AD players are really, really familiar with. So maybe it's because he doesn't have that experience from playing AD, that's why he didn't do that. But because like the general way you play AP is you want to be able to hit your spell and back out, hit your spell and back out, so you never expose yourself to danger. However, in that case, there's a special situation where you want to hit yourself and close the distance. So it's very, very counterintuitive, but had he done that, he actually would have picked up the kill on Udyr as well.
We do have Cottonex approaching the top lane. Wicked has spotted him in a ward. We're going to have to see how this shapes up. There's the vision, headbutt into the wall, Pulverize up a leap, and the stun comes out from Jack. Do they have an ignite? They do. The red buff is ticking down. One more auto attack, and it's going to be enough. Nezulus grabs the kill. Will goes away from the tower again. But that is 2 deaths to Wicked's name, 2 kills for Nezulus, and 3 kills in total for Na'Vi.
This is looking really good for Na'Vi right now. You know, they're getting the kills on the champion that they needed to be on, and they're getting really, really good harass off on bottom lane. Even though Soraka is really, really low right now, but Corki and Soraka is winning bottom lane. If you're looking at the CS, Corki's beating Cog out by 53 to 36. That means Corki is able to put a lot of pressure in bottom lane. And as soon as Corki goes and buys, he's still at the boots and 3 pots, he's going to be able to come back and just be a lot more strong. And that's exactly what he's looking for right now. He's going to try and push this lane. The next lane that's coming on too. And then he's going to go back and try and buy. And as soon as he gets back, he's going to have 58 CS worth of gold. Let's see how much gold that is. He has about 1,600 worth of gold, and he's going to come back into lane, and he's going to be able to put out a lot of pain onto Kog'Maw.
Now, Udyr managed to sneak in there and take that first blue buff spawn off of Na'Vi, while there was an Alistar waiting towards the mid lane. Ali is now waiting in the bottom lane, but he's standing on top of a ward, so it's not going to be anything more. Cosmex does get a knockup for his trouble while he's trying to recall. We're just going to delay him as long as possible. Sand comes to be as annoying in advance. There we go. Silence is enough. And we do have Udyr again invading the top side of Na'Vi's jungle this time. Nothing there, but that's not the point. It means he saw Alistar bottom and says, okay, he's in the bottom lane. I can go anywhere I want in this top jungle, take the XP I find. But all timed by Cotnex, meaning there's nothing to take. Nezreal, what are you up to? 3 Doran's Blades up against this cannon now. And we saw him do it again against Irelia yesterday. But when you're as rich as he is right now, it's really, really helpful. They are up by about 1,000 gold, and we have Alistar waiting again in this mid lane. But he's got himself an Oracles. Slow Field comes over the wall from Citizen Wayne. Cosnex is not 6 yet, so he needs to be really careful. He can still take quite a bit of damage, and they do have Wicked approaching from the top lane. And in fact, bot lane's coming up as well. Creeper and Yellow Pete approaching this mid lane. It's about to get really painful for Citizen Wayne.
So basically, at this point, CLG knows that Na'Vi is in a driving seat, so they're looking for any opportunity where they can go and pick off somebody and just pick up a quick dragon, because that's exactly what they need to get back in the game. They're trying to make big plays right now, or they're looking to make big plays. Otherwise, if it just goes on the way it is, they're going to fall further and further behind, because if you're losing in the laning phase and you keep everything the way it is, it's very, very common for the same thing to happen over and over, and that's not how you make comeback. You don't do the same thing you've been doing when you are losing.
Another headbutt pulverize goes out to Wicked. He does pop his ult and start lightning rushing away. Gets the stun down on Nezreal this time. The Ignite is ticking, but the ult's coming across from Citizen Wayne. Wicked's recalling and will die. Four kills, in fact, for Na'Vi. 3 deaths on Wicked in the top lane. But CLG, as soon as they spotted Alistar up there, have gone in for a dragon. And Citizen Wayne's forced to flash away from Frog, and he's also really low on mana now. Dragon's going down pretty quickly. Antigen and Sandy here. Dragon's going really low. Codnex comes in, doesn't get the smite out. Gold goes to CLG. Codnex is now 6. He's in the middle of this fight. Grogu going low, is exhausted, forced to flash away. Now, great ult from Frog, and again lands on everyone for Na'Vi. Sand, Antigen, and Citizen all going low, forced to back out. But Nezreal has come to join in. Doesn't quite manage to leap. The stun lands on nobody. Frog a little bit exposed. Gets pulverized. Gets headbutt away from the tower. He's going to be focused down. He will drop Cotnex, but the Oracle's down. And actually, that went very well for CLG, because they all got out of there alive.
That was a really, really well played engage by, or fight for CLG. Janna basically lived with about 50 hit points. He just ran back into the dragon pit and forced Na'Vi to fight out here and kind of wanted to bait them in. When you're back in there, you see someone really, really low, it's normal for you to just kind of rush back into people and just take a lot of free damage. And they took a little bit of damage there, and they're trying to back out. So throughout the entire time, CLG was able to just punch out a lot of free damage. And then also the headbutt pulverized onto Ori. Ori had a lot of CDs up, and Ali just got a little bit too overconfident. It's normal for him to be confident if he has his ultimate up, but since it was down and he was low, he was able to just get gibbed by Orianna.
So many different cannon builds going on. Wicked has decided to go AD in this one. We've seen him play cannon at least 3 or 4 times this tournament with both AP and AD. Why is he going AD against Jax? What's his thought process? Dan?
Oh, why is he going AD? I was actually thinking about it as well. If he's going AP, the time it takes for him actually to get his revolver is going to be a lot longer. And so I got to look at his runes and masteries. It looks like he started off on AP. If you're looking at his stats, he does have 8 AP. So he started off with AP runes, but when you're going AP and you're going that revolver, you're not going to have a lot of HP. He's going to be able to kill Kennen really, really quick every time. So because he is behind, he switched up his build. He went to a different build where he knows it's going to be a lot safer and a lot more manageable. It doesn't make sense for him to stack Dorn's Blade for HP because it has a mana regen component. However, going D-Blade um, is a really good alternative because you're getting this HP that you need to not get gipped by